And during the class, it was presented in a way where it wasn't just reading out of a book, it was reading primary sources, reading from parts of the Bible from different religions in the Quran.
We read scripts or excerpts from the different religion Bibles, and we read 2 Adam and Eve stories, and one was the Islam and the other was the Christian. And we only found a couple of differences. The same story. It's the same story.
It tells me that that every religion isn't that different. They all have something connected to one another.
I would definitely say that I made a big change in the way I presented social studies this year. For me, it truly came to life. The class was an experience. It was almost, taking the class in the summer was almost like I had along the way almost like converted to and tried these different religions and immersed myself into it and felt these religions through the eyes of the people who believe in these religions. So when
I did not even know Islam had an Adam and Eve story. It was very interesting to learn that they did. I would suspect they have some weird God thing. So it was very interesting to find out.
I didn't know that everything had a similarity together. And it was really interesting just to learn that everything had a similarity.
I took away that we are just the same people, we're just people, and we're learning religions that are actually more the same than different. And really, it's just typically, it's not one religion, but it's very, very similar. And it's just amazing that it's like so similar, and like the other people are just thinking it's so different when it's really, really just similar.
Since then, I've met a couple people from different religions, and I started talking to them about their religion, learning more about it.
They're very similar, and like she said, they're not weird.
Yes, because that would probably help me out with like learning about other people that just moved into the district or something, trying to help them out learn like a new language or something, and just trying to bring into the social life.
Well, I know now to not treat them differently because they're not different, and don't judge people on their looks. Like, just don't judge a book on its cover. You should always try to get to learn other religions because they're very interesting. And plus, just don't treat them any differently than from what they are.
I was very excited about it. I think on the first day of school, I told them that I took this Minerva workshop, and I said I learned so much from it. I can't wait to teach you what I learned about it. And throughout the year, I kept referring to it, so they were quite familiar with the workshop. I'd say, boys and girls, remember I told you about the workshop that I learned? Well, this is another thing that I learned from there. And the Akbar and Beautiful stories, I told them a story, and they said, wow, Miss Pappas, how did you remember that whole story? And I said, I just remembered because I loved it so much. That was one of the things that I heard at the workshop.
I know that she learned new things from last year, because she was telling us the whole time that she learned different things, and it was all new that the kids last year didn't know it because she just learned it too. So that's kind of interesting for me.
Usually you're learning from the teacher, and now she's learning from as much as you are, and you're learning from her as well as she's learning from you. And that was kind of different.
I think they find it interesting when a teacher admits that she's constantly learning, whatever it is. You know, even when I talk about being in a church choir and learning how to read music, I never knew how to do that before. And for the students, it shows that we are not always all good at everything all the time, and we're constantly learning. I think it's really interesting for them to know that their teacher's still learning.
Attention, 6th grade.
It's so weird that they're still learning, and they're way older than me.
I think that makes it down to our level and everything, and that she's kind of equal to us, that she's still learning and she's trying to help us learn.
Because it was like, wait, we're like kind of the same. It's like,
I also think they responded differently, as I said, because their teacher was a learner and they knew that I was excited about this. I think they responded differently because I think they saw me as a reliable source as to the proper way to pronounce things, the things that other cultures are sensitive to. I think that was important to them.
because it felt like if I mess up, I'm not going to get in so much trouble because she can mess up too, because she just learned this. as well as I did.
You go to school and you're like, oh yeah, it's school, I'm going to learn from the teacher. And having Miss Pappas come back from starting a brand new year and telling us how she actually went and learned different things that you wouldn't even think that a teacher could learn. You would think that she knew that or something. It was very interesting because it felt like you were at the same level as her. She didn't like overdo you or anything.
It was a new experience, and I'm always open to new experiences, and it was really, really fun.
But, like I said millions of times, the greatest course. I recommend highly that anybody takes this course.